Coming up on Sportsource, two top 10 tennis players in the country, but at different places in their career heading into the ITA National Indoors in Chicago. We've got the details.
Name, image, and likeness is in full effect for college athletes. UGA track athlete Matthew Bowling is using his NIL deals to do good in the community.
A local Athens athlete commits to Georgia Tech, and we've got the details.
Hi, hello, and welcome to Sportsource. I'm Eric Tiongson, and we thank you for tuning in to our first show of the year from wherever you may be. We've got all these stories coming up, but to start, UGA men's tennis team travels to Chicago for the ITA team indoor tournament this weekend. For more on the tennis team, here's Cohen Marcus.
Thanks, Eric. The UGA men's tennis team was one of 16 teams that qualified for the ITA National Indoors. UGA is being led into the tournament by veteran Philip Henning and upcoming star Ethan Quinn. I had a chance to learn more about how they're preparing for the upcoming tournament. The University of Georgia's tennis team is preparing to compete for their 9th national championship at the ITA National Indoors. Ethan Quinn, who's only a freshman, is getting ready to play line 1. Ethan wants to be in top form heading into Chicago.
Just to get better, honestly. Hoping to perform at my very best, of course, but hoping to continue to develop, continue to perform at my highest level. Kind of make that shift from our previous matches to the ones coming up, just kind of doing my best. Rather than putting this pressure on myself to win every match, more of just to compete and put our team in the best opportunity possible.
Georgia men's tennis coach Manny Diaz says the team's in a great position with Ethan at line 1. But at the same time, Diaz recognizes Ethan's just a freshman.
He's just trying to figure things out, and he's in the process of settling in. You may, say it's different competing individually than for your team. And I think that, he's just trying to get his bearings straight. On the court next to Ethan at line 2 is fifth-year senior Philip Henning. Philip's years of experience means he's no stranger to big matches.
As a college tennis player, there's a lot of different factors that play a role in the matches as to tennis as an individual sport. So getting used to the fans, the crowd, all the energy, the umpires, the back calls, all those things, I think the experience definitely helps in terms of that. And I think that as fifth years in our team, we can share this experience with the other younger guys in our team, and we can help create a bond. And Georgia men's tennis coach Manny Diaz agrees. We've got a great group of seniors, and we've got a great camaraderie on our team, so we're really excited about that. Although Ethan and Philip are bringing different experiences to the ITA National Indoors, they have the same goals in mind.
I think it'll just be a good start for the team to see where we kind of rank up against non-conference schools.
Oh, I think it's a great tournament. It's a very exciting tournament for us as a team. It's always nice qualifying for national indoors. I think this is the second time I've played it. And I think it's an important tournament as it gives us a good feel of where we're at going into the SEC season. And yeah, it's just a great opportunity to build more momentum and get more experience and get more matches in. Ethan is currently the 5th-ranked player in the country, while Philip is a career-high 8th. From Athens, Georgia, I'm Cohen Marcus, reporting for the Carmical Sports Media Institute. UGA plays their first match of the tournament today against SEC rival South Carolina. If they continue to win, Georgia could play all the way through Monday to get their 9th national championship. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Cohen. After they wrap up in Chicago, the tennis team's outdoor season will begin March 2nd in Tuscaloosa when they take on Alabama. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll preview our matchup of the week. You're watching Sportsource. Stay tuned.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd, and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to Sports Source. We turn now to our Matchup of the Week segment. This week, it's a crosstown rivalry between two premier high school soccer programs. The Clark Central Gladiators host the Athens Academy Spartans this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. The Gladiators are 6-1 on the season, while the Spartans are 1-4. Tuesday's match is also a rematch of last year's thrilling 4-3 Spartan victory. With the match, these two teams will be halfway through their season. Even though it's a non-regional match, it's a big measuring stick for both sides, and there's bragging rights on the line. Joining me now to discuss this matchup is Rafael Cruz representing Athens Academy and Stuart Steele representing Clark Central. Athens Academy was able to win a 7-goal thriller last season, but this season, the goals haven't quite been pouring in for the Spartans like they used to. Rafa, what's at stake here for Athens Academy heading into this match?
Well, Eric, you mentioned the rough start for Athens Academy, and traditionally they produce strong soccer teams, but this marks the first season since their transition from 1A private to 2A. The Spartans have only had 4 losses in the past 2 seasons combined, but they already have 4 losses through 5 matches this season while being outscored 19-5 by their opponents. Tuesday's match is not a region matchup. It likely won't have much effect on the postseason, but this is still a big rivalry game that can help with morale and potentially turn their season around. If the Spartans want to gain any sort of momentum and take back control of their season, they'll have to regroup and find a way to win. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Rafa. You're right, this game does mean a lot to this team. Athens Academy head coach Stefan Billmeyer told the Athens Banner Herald that last year, the Clark Central game was a real shot in the arm for us. I think they're going to come out on Tuesday ready to fight for their season. Now, on the other side, we had the chance to speak with Clark Central's head coach Chris Aiken before the game. He said that while the Gladiators have gotten off to a good start this season, it hasn't been under easy circumstances.
Who we returned from last season. Entering the season, we lost 2 key starters back in the fall due to ACL injuries, and so we weren't sure how those injuries would impact the early part of our season as we tried to adjust to those key injuries, but we've done well to kind of overcome those losses and still perform at a high level.
Turning it to you now, Stuart, with those injuries in mind, who do you think is primed to step up for Clark Central on Tuesday?
Eric, I expect another strong outing from Thad Pruitt for Clark Central. He scored the 2nd goal in their 2-0 win over Archer on Valentine's Day, and I'm predicting he'll get another goal against Athens Academy in an all-around strong performance for the team. Clark Central has won each of its last 4 matches, and I think they'll add another victory against Athens Academy. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Stuart. Pruitt actually also used to play basketball, and believe it or not, this is the first season he's chosen to play soccer full-time. Coach Aiken told us that having him full-time has been a huge addition to this squad. All right, guys, it's time to make your case. Rafa, how can Athens Academy win this match?
Well, Eric, the Spartans will have to step up defensively in order to gain the advantage in this matchup. They'll have to control time of possession, win those 50-50 balls in the air, and play physical on defense when the Gladiators are on the attack.
Thanks, Rafa. Stuart, your response? How does Clark Central win this match?
The Gladiators are going to need to pressure the Spartans into making mistakes, hold their defensive shape, and capitalize on counter-attacking opportunities to earn the win.
Thanks, Stuart. Before we move on, let's do something a little fun here and pick this match. I have Clark Central winning 3-1. How about you guys?
I'll go Clark Central 2, Athens Academy 0.
Because this is a rivalry game, I think it's a very physical match from start to finish, but I have Clark Central pulling out the close win at home, 2-1.
Wow, all right. Gladiators across the board from us. maybe a little bit of bulletin board material for the Spartans. If you're looking for some exciting soccer, mark your calendars for Tuesday night. Coming up, one track star has started to use NIL for good. Molly Lee has more on Matthew Bowling after the break. Still ahead, Ryland Grady talks with the local Athens kid who's committed to Georgia Tech. Stay with us.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Matthew Bowling is a runner at the University of Georgia who has made a big name for himself through NIL. Now, he's using his fame to give back. Joining me now is Molly Lee with more.
Thanks, Eric. Name, image, and likeness has drastically changed the college experience for student athletes. I spoke to Bowling and staff at Clark Central about his decision to give back to the local community. University of Georgia track and field athlete Matthew Bowling has more than 1 million followers across Instagram and TikTok. His performance on the track and his popularity on social media have led to several name, image, and likeness deals.
Then I had Dunkin' Donuts, Phillips Norelco I've got going on right now, the Razor Company. I got Merrill going on right now, Garmin, watches. I did like a running watch with them. KT tape, recovery tape, Campbell's.
The details of his deals are private, but Matthew says he's doing well.
Yeah, to be honest, I save my money. I mean, the athletics feeds us. I have a housing stipend. So it's like I live like a college kid. I haven't changed like my spending habits at all.
Instead of spending all his new earnings on himself, Matthew is giving back. He's helping Clark Central upgrade their athletic facilities.
So for me, looking back on when I was in high school and middle school was when I found my love for track. So the idea to be able to help others define their love, whether it's sport, academics, whatever it may be, was an important thing to me.
Clark Central will use the donation to upgrade their dumbbells, buy new track uniforms, track shoes, and hurdle carts. The school's assistant athletic director, Chris Aiken, says it's huge to have someone of his stature and success not only give back to the community, but actually show up.
And he spent almost over 2 hours on our campus, shaking students' hands, meeting people, talking. He did an interview for our school newspaper, The Odyssey. And so to do all those things sets a great example that there's people that care about our students and want to get back to them, and shows what a great person he is to give back to his local community.
Head track coach Justin Jones says he expects to see more athletes connect their NIL with philanthropy.
I think Matthew is basically being a trailblazer by giving back after he's given what he was given. So I think it's a great model to follow, not just for him but other athletes as well. Obviously you're blessed with talent, you're blessed with an NIL deal. Why not give back to someone or some school that's less fortunate?
In Athens, Georgia, with the Carmical Sports Media Institute, I'm Molly Lee. This is an example of how student athletes can use NIL for something bigger than themselves. It will be interesting to see how athletes will use this new opportunity to do good, just like bowling did. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Molly. It's great to see star athletes using their platform to help others out. Now, when we come back, we're going to try our hand at a little fortune telling and look into the future. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back on Sportsource.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward. Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences can make us stronger.
Welcome back to Sportsource. During the break, my analysts and I were playing around with this trusty little crystal ball. You see, high school baseball is starting up in Georgia, and we wanted to look into the future. We're going to have a little fun here. It's time for the Sportsource Baseball Crystal Ball. I'm joined again by Stuart Steele, Rafael Cruz, and Charles Burney. Using this crystal ball, we're going to tell the future for 3 of the top high school baseball players in the Athens area. Charles, I see you've been eyeing this crystal ball, so I'll let you go first. What does the future look like for Athens Christian's Abby Shaw?
Well, Eric, pitcher and baseman Abby Shaw should have a very productive season in store. Last season, the Mercer signee was 3-1 with a 2.6 ERA and 65 strikeouts and 35 innings pitched. He also batted .308 with 4 home runs and 22 RBI. I see him getting a career high in hits with 40 or more and a career high in hitting it out the park in home runs with 5 or more this season. I think he will really continue to build on these numbers and root to a strong beat this season, which will make Mercer fans very excited, especially for the future. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Charles. Sounds like Mercer is getting an exciting player at both sides of the plate. All right, Rafa, it's your turn next. When you looked into this crystal ball, what did you see for Prince Avenue's Judson Hartwell?
Eric, I am very excited to see what kind of season Judson Hartwell has in store for the Wolverines. The freshman phenom from a year ago is back for his sophomore season. He burst onto the scene right away and was named the Region 8A Private Player of the Year last season. He is an absolute unit at 6'3", 210 pounds. Prep Baseball Report says Hartwell checks every box as a complete hitter with pure power. Hartwell also brings versatility outside of the batter's box. Last season, he played third base, shortstop, outfielder, and he even posted a 3-0 record as a starting pitcher with a 1.79 ERA. Prince head coach Alan Osborne has coached Hartwell since he was 8 years old at Athens Christian. Eventually, they both made the move to Prince Avenue Christian. Osborne said that he's a lovable guy with a good heart, but he has the maturity and an undying competitive spirit to develop his skill set. He said that Hartwell put continuous work in the weight room this offseason and that every aspect of his game has improved as a result. I asked Hartwell what areas he wanted to improve on specifically, and he said that he wants to stay disciplined at the plate. He made a name for himself last season, so every pitcher he faces is going to game plan against him and try to catch him off guard with breaking balls. I fully expect Hartwell to maintain that discipline and not fall for the eye candy that opposing pitchers will throw at him. I believe he will put up even bigger numbers this season and improve his batting average to .480. I also think he'll increase his number of hits to 57, including 64 RBIs. And I'm going to take it a step further. Hartwell had 10 home runs last season, which led the Wolverines, and I think he will surpass that mark and get to at least 13 home runs, maybe more. There won't be any sophomore slump here, Eric. Back to you.
Thanks, Rafa. I was watching those clips of him swinging in the batting cage, and I had to remind myself that he's only a sophomore. It's like watching Paul Bunyan take batting practice. And last, but not least, we have Stuart. Stuart, what did the crystal ball tell you about North Oconee's Kyle Jones?
North Oconee enters this season hoping to defend a state title. The Titans finished 39-1 last season, including an 18-0 record in region play. Outfielder Kyle Jones was one of the major factors in their success as a consistent bat and a strong defender. Now a senior and one of the leaders in the North Oconee clubhouse, I'm expecting a big season from Jones. Speed is one of the major characteristics of his game, so I'm predicting him to have 12 steals this season, up from 6 last year, and up his RBIs from 19 to 25, helping the Titans make another deep playoff run. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Stuart. This season won't be the last that we see of Jones on the diamond, as he's also committed to play baseball at Stetson University next year. Wow, that was riveting, guys. Have you ever thought about being fortune tellers? We should probably put this thing away now, though, because as they say, great power comes with great responsibility. We're going to take a quick break and lock this away in a safe. Coming up, an Athens state champ commits to a local rival. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Sportsource.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies.
Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Up next is a story of an Athens athlete that turned to his hometown rival. For more on Bailey Stockton committing to Georgia Tech, here's Ryland Grady.
Thanks, Eric. That's right. I got a chance to sit down with Athens' own Bailey Stockton and talk about his decision to commit to Georgia Tech.
All right, well, first of all, congrats on
committing to Georgia Tech. Before we get into that, though, you had a heck of a senior year. Over 1,000 yards receiving. You had over 20 touchdowns. And you also broke your collarbone before the state championship game, but you decided to play through it. Talk me through that situation and the whole season.
Well, I think it was just because I thought I was out. You know, second round of the playoffs, broke my collarbone. The doctor told me I had to get surgery, of course. The doctor told me I had about 8 to 10 weeks before I could, like, at least just try to come back. But, I mean, I wanted the ring bad. My coach said I needed to play if we wanted the ring, so I came back 2 weeks early. But
I bet that fired the boys up.
It did. It fired them up.
That's awesome. And then I saw a little highlight. You went on about a 75-yard touchdown in the state championship. Am I correct on that, right?
I did.
You started out playing safety. How did you transition to receiver?
So sophomore year, Coach Vandegrift, he thought I was a better receiver, but I couldn't get the plays down. So he just kind of stuck me at safety. And I was like third in the team in tackles. And then junior year, I started playing both sides. I had like 1,300 yards, led the team in tackles junior year. So, I mean, Coach Vandegrift kind of put me in that situation.
That's awesome, man. So, you win the state title. Congrats. And then you go on a visit to Georgia Tech. They offer you to commit. What went into that decision? Especially being, kind of an Athens boy.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're going to Tech.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I really think the biggest part was Coach Faulkner. He came from Georgia, of course, but he knows what he's doing. I feel like, he's got a history of using, 5'10", 5'11" slot guys. So, I mean, I got all the confidence in the world in him.
Absolutely. What, taking this next step here, going from Prince to Tech, what do you think is the biggest strength in your game that you're going to bring to the Yellow Jackets?
I think the first one's toughness. I'm not scared. If he's 300 pounds or 100 pounds, I'm going to go for the speed, try to knock you out each time. And I think my speed, I run a 4.4, 4.45, so I think that's my biggest attribute.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, before you head to Tech, you got a pretty big baseball season coming up. What are you most excited for this upcoming baseball season?
I think the reason I'm playing is because, I think we have a real good shot at winning state, like preseason 3. But, I came to play, win a state title. So, I play center field, and I don't think any ball's going to get down if I'm out there.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, I appreciate you being out here.
Yes, sir.
Folks, there you have it. Bailey Stockton, absolute stud, dual sport athlete, and a tough son of a gun heading to Tech this summer after hopefully a state title for Prince this spring. In Bogart, Georgia, I'm Rylan Godey reporting with the Carmical Sports Media Institute. Folks, not only is Stockton a force on the football field, but he is also receiving some attention on the baseball diamond as well. Stockton told me he has received calls from Georgia Tech's head baseball coach, Danny Hall. When I asked him what his thoughts were on playing both sports at the next level, he just smiled and said, "Who knows?" Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Ryland. Hopefully there's not a lot of dog fans in his family, or it might make for a pretty awkward Thanksgiving dinner. To recap, we've got a busy week of sports coming up as spring has sprung. Be sure to check out the UGA men's tennis team at the ITA Team Indoor Tournament this weekend. And tune in to our matchup of the week, Clark Central versus Athens Academy Soccer on Tuesday night. That's all we've got for today. For my analysts, reporters, producers, and the whole crew at Sportsource, I'm Eric Tiongson. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you all again soon. Stay classic, Athens.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house
It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
The Dutch.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.